All right, all right, all right. This movie is crazy. And I can only imagine, a cinematic celebration of men's locker room talk. And I do mean in the offensive way. There's not only one, but two over-the-top gay characters in this movie. And so many slurs against women and Asians. Things that usually you simply cannot say. But as Colin Farrell's character explains in the movie, if you say it with love and it comes from a good place, then it's actually a compliment. And I'd have to say, with the exception of women, because there's just one in this movie, Michelle Dockery, who's quite good, playing a very downstairs character in contrast to her famously upstairs Lady Mary, it's unusual to see such strong representation in not just a mainstream movie, but a movie like this. And oh, everyone is having so much fun. In fact, when the movie was over, I was like, I want to play Gangster, because this film is so over the top, it does feel like everyone involved is playing Gangster. Oh, I got you. No, you didn't, because you didn't know I had this. Well, you didn't know I had this. And by the way, I'm saying all this with love. This is the charm of the film. Writer, director, and producer Guy Ritchie has made the Jackson Pollock of gangster films. It is so all over the place and has so much energy, such clever ideas. Like, wow, how Mickey builds his marijuana empire is genius. It's a really good idea. And it's a biting commentary at the same time on the the realities of the UK's class system. Plus, this movie has an incredibly out of left field framing device that I won't give away. This movie has so many spoilers in it. Be careful not to have it ruined for you. It's kind of like not on people's radars. I think it will be. So it's the whole movie's kind of coming out of left field. So I think if you see it like opening weekend, you'll be okay. But don't talk to anyone about it because you don't want them to spoil anything for you. It was a marvel to behold this thing unfold. Guy Ritchie is so ambitious here and coming again from such a good place that you have no choice but to stand. I was going to say as a cinephile you have no choice but to stand. I mean, I don't know. Some people might be like, oh, I'm offended and I can't get over it. I think that's not the takeaway that you should have. I think most people, especially if you love movies, even casually, will really admire what Guy Ritchie has done here. It's basically a 2020 version. This movie did come out in 2019 in the UK, at the beginning of December. But it's basically a 2020 version of a 90s movie. The movies that so many of us love. It's also a bit of a love letter to England, right? Modern England in particular. Even while highlighting some of England's problems. It's got the classic English countryside and estates. Everyone's wearing plaid, and I love it. Everyone looks fantastic. And also, it has the diversity of modern England, which I thought was very nice. And also, of course, it highlights the marijuana industry, actually making a pretty strong case for why marijuana is not only the nicest of criminal trades, but it's going to be legit soon. It's like kind of got one foot in criminal activity and another in fair business. And I think the comparison to liquor post-prohibition is a very good one, right? And McConaughey's Mickey, by way of Ritchie, of course, who was writing his dialogue, well, he's a very good salesman. As for the cast, it's a men's magazine of who's who. Idris Elba should have been in this movie, maybe the sequel. McConaughey is in top form. It seemed like he maybe, ran his course the second time, like those dumb Lincoln commercials, which he's still making. I hope he's getting a lot of money for them because I think they really hurt his reputation. Even if they let him direct them, it's just not worth it, I think. Because here he reminds you that in the right role, he's still very capable of playing the lead. I really liked him here. I also really liked Charlie Hunnam. This is the best I've ever seen Charlie Hunnam. And Guy Ritchie certainly makes it up to him for King Arthur, which had its moments, but I didn't think Charlie Hunnam was one of those moments. I thought he was kind of bland there, but I hear he's very good. Now, King Arthur, by the way, co-starred Jude Law, and it looks like Hunnam is another pretty boy actor who's actually better off in character roles. And on that note, I do love cheeky Hugh Grant. And playing gay characters seems to be his sweet spot as he's now 3 for 3. He is fabulous here. Jeremy Strong, though, I'm not so sure. I did feel his performance was borderline caricature and offensive. Again, if you're a member of the LGBT community, you should weigh in here. I'm not, so I don't know for sure, but as a non-member of the LGBT community, Jeremy Strong's performance made me real nervous. If I was on set, I'd be like, Jeremy, are you sure? I mean, he definitely makes a strong choice, but I'd be like, I think we should go find some LGBT people and ask them what they think, because this seems offensive to me. But as I said, he made a strong choice, and of course, he's a very charismatic actor. Henry Golding is basically just playing Henry Golding, which is what the role requires, right? And he holds his own with the rest of the group, which I think is saying something, considering he's pretty new to the game. And Colin Farrell, well, comedy, of course, as we all know, is definitely his strong suit. He's so good here. I also have to give a shout out to Farrell's boys, right, who are headed up by UK rapper Bugsy Malone. They are an absolute delight, and they have to be seen to be believed. I'm not going to give it away. It's so cool. The whole movie has to be seen to be believed. And to Ritchie's credit, just when you think you have it figured out, you're like, okay, I get what kind of movie this is. He just tops himself with a cool new twist or a cool scene until eventually you just sit back again and say, I have no choice but to stand. So that's my review of The Gentleman. I think you should definitely see it, right? Get ready for a bunch of offensive stuff, but it's done with love. So I think you'll have a really good time. It's really good. So share your own thoughts down below. And again, this came out in the UK in the beginning of December, so I know some of you have seen it. You can back me up in the comments down below. Don't give away any of the twists, please. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.